Hello everyone and welcome to JCGaming. Today we are going to be playing Fishing Barents Sea and we're going to be switching over to a trawl boat. So without further ado, here we are in the game here. Little black screen there for a second, sorry about that. Alright, so we're going to go to the dock and we're going to go to purchase boat, see how much it's going to cost us. As you can see, we have almost 7.4 million kroner at the moment. And let's see if we go to Lunar Boat, which is a trawling boat. It's going to cost us almost 15 million kroner. Don't have that much at the moment, but we can get a big loan right now because we paid off our original loan, which was 13 million kroner, and now we have the ability to get up to almost 37 million. And being that the boat is 15 with upgrades and stuff, we're going to buy. I don't think the 25, almost 26 million kroner should be enough. So we're going to go for this big one. It shouldn't take that long to pay it off anyway. So we're going to take this loan, go back over to the dock, pick up the boat, and then start purchasing upgrades that we need for it. And as you can see, we have a quota of 6 million kilograms of pollock and mackerel. So this is our new boat now. Now we have to get all of our crew on the boat. So we're going to go back to town, and right now on board we have the 5 members that were already on the last boat, the Moby D, but I also had 2 sitting here waiting for us. So we're going to return these 2 to the boat because we can take a total of 7 people. So now we have all 7 on the deck. We do not need any fishing lines because we're trawling. What we will need is to make sure that we have the upgrades we want. And as you can see, it'd spend 17 million if I picked up all 3 of those. So we're probably going to pick up the first 2. And then we're going to go to engines and pick up 2 of those for right this moment. The radar, we have to upgrade all the way. And the quotas, we don't have to worry about right now. I'm not sure on what sensors we need, so we're just going to buy them all. And we'll figure that out. Well, this is how much, this one here we have to have, that way we can see how much is in the net itself. Alright. We have side thrusters, we have the Scanmar Trawl Eye. We have the Scanmar door sensor and controller. I'm not worried about the quota. We still have 17 million, which I could spend 13 right now to buy these 2 upgrades. But I think I'm gonna wait for that and see what we do real quick first. So we have all of our people. If we look here, we're not gonna be out fishing for haddock, so that's not a job we can do. Obviously we have a 37 million kroner loan. We don't need anything from the fishing, so we can go fishing now. Now this thing has side thrusters, so I mean if I tried moving right now without using the side thrusters, I just damage the heck out of the boat. So we're going to side thrust to the left real quick to get out where we can actually start moving around. And now that I'm a little ways away, I can give a little gas and try to move the nose of the boat out a little more. And as you can see, we have people here. On this boat, all we're doing is hauling and setting, so we don't have to worry about stacking or gutting or freezing, nothing. It's just going to be bring it in, take it back out. We have 800,000 kilograms we can catch. So my cook is right there. We'll put her to work. Let's see, who do we want for repairing? Just bought this boat, it's already 1% damaged. Let's use Rudy for repair. And then on these guys here, it doesn't really matter who we use for. We want to get these guys energy levels up for stamina. So we're going to put those 2 over there. put this one over here. These two are both pretty strong. We're going to leave them right there for now. And he's probably going to be moved over here to help with set the trawl. We'll just keep these guys with us for right now. We really only need 5 for this, but we're taking a full crew out just because. Alright, so remember I was talking before, there's a thing out here that says open water? That's where we're going now. And because we haven't opened up this section real quick, I'm going to open up that before we actually start fishing in open water. And we have 660,000 liters of fuel available. We got a little boat in front of us we gotta wait for. This one's probably gonna cross in front of us too, but as soon as we get out here, we'll be fine. Alright. And as you can see, it's darker here now, and lightened right up. Look how much space it opened up. Since we have a 7,000 meter, a 3,000 meter, I believe. Probably gonna get this in like 2 or 3 clicks. But as you can see, there's a thing here that says go to open water. If we wanted to, we could go right there right now. But what I want to do is get the rest of this map opened up. So we're gonna just do that real quick. It'll only take a couple seconds. We got that spot there, and then we got one spot right over here. We're not worried about right up against the edge there, because this will be enough to show me everything on the map and where it's at and what's going on. Like if I open it up right now, clicked all species, we can see the entire map now of places that we've gone. I have not traveled down here yet, but that's fine. But all this is opened up. All this is opened up right now. We're in a pretty good spot right here, but we're not going to be fishing that. We're going to be going to open water. So we're going to click back here. We're going to click on this button right here that says go to open water, and we're going to see what happens. Alright, so now we're going to set the trawl. So we're going to take this guy, move him over to here. Our boat is 100%. We're going to close that down, and then we're going to change views, because right now we are in the driver's seat. We need to be in the trawl seat, which is back right over there. So we're going to cruise over here, sit down on this one, and we're going to push this button right here that says set trawl. And it says we need 4 crew members, and we do have 4 crew members right there. They're setting the trawl. I exit back out of that, and as you can see, the line's going out. And look at all this darkness right here. That's kind of behind our boat. We're going to be trying to come up right on top of that. And we're going to customize this a little bit real quick too, because we need some other things added onto this, which I should have done before I actually. We're going to stop these lines. I need to fix some buttons here. Keys. The ones that say E. Where are they at? There it is. No, not that one. Interact. E. And that'll be fine. So now it should be, yep. Okay, good. So we have up here this catch meter, which we're going to put up here. So we're going to change this. There's the catch codex. There it is. Put it right there. Now we can close this one out. This is the depth of what our trawl is right now. We also need to have the width. You know what the distance is in the doors. So I believe it's this one here. Alright, so this will tell you how many fish are coming in, the direction we're traveling, the depth of the bottom of the net, the depth of the top of the net. Or maybe this is the depth of the boat, how far down it is at the bottom of the sea. And let's see, there's one other thing, we need the spider. So we're going to move this number 4 over here also. So that is depth number 4. For the ship, we're going to put that over here. And then we're going to re-put the hawk in there. So we're going to close this one out, and we're going to put the spider over there, which is telling us which ones are the best. So we can get out of this now, go over here and drop the lines back down so that we're extending our depth, because we have to be a certain depth before we can actually start collecting fish anyway. And I have not started the boat moving yet either, so we're going to do that right now and bump it forward just a little bit. And if you see right up here, that 0.9, that's how many knots we're going. And then you'll see here in a minute too, there'll be numbers coming across in that spot right there where it says 0. That's the density of fish. It can go all the way up to 9. And then up here, see right there, it's 9. So you see all the fish coming in, we're 10% already. But up here, the distance that we're moving, it's hard to explain the spider, but yeah, we still got 5 coming in. So we're going to be at 20-30% right now as it fades off for that batch. But as you can see, we're only doing 3 kilometers, which is pretty good actually. That's about where we want to be. So if we get through one more like that, we'll be full on the net and we'll be able to pull it up and stop the trawl. So I'm going to stop this at 70 meters, which is right up here, 71 actually. And we're just going to cruise at 3 kilometers an hour. And I can bump into this and look at it and see that this symmetry is not very good, which is the total symmetry, but the speed's good. The depth is okay. You know, it's trying to stay the same. We could take this up and put it out a little further. So this is our boat, and these are the doors and where they're at. So now what we're looking for is, I could turn or try to turn. I haven't learned that part of it very well yet. But you could try to turn and go towards these things and get them in there. I think it's easier just to go straight and wait for the next one to come through. It'll pop up and we'll be able to catch something here in a second. So because I want to fix the telemetry a little bit, I want to take this depth and this depth down a little bit so it brings it further out on this. And then this here is the opening across. Okay, and you saw that big little dark spot that was about to come up and fish. We just passed by it. And then this is the depth of the floor to the ship, the sea floor. So we're going to back out of this. We're going to extend these out a little further. Oh yeah, while I'm at it, these guys can go rest so that they're not completely trash when we go to pull the trawl. If they had good stamina, we'd leave them out there. We'd just hit this to switch them, but they don't have good stamina. So, but as you can see, we're going a little slow, so I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit. I want to keep these two numbers fairly close together, but they don't want to be like completely exact the same. So I'll stop one here in a second and let the other one go out a little further. I'm going to run them, I think, probably 80 and 90. Oh, and these levers are the opposite. This is the port and this is the starboard. I should have put those just the opposite. Which I can fix pretty easily, so we can do that here in a second. Just want to get this other line out a little further. Right about there is good. Alright, so they're about 10 meters apart for depth. And if you look up here at this, it's becoming more symmetrical. So if we bump the gas up just a little bit more, 1 notch, which I just did. So I'm going to move these and change these real quick too. So I want the starboard first, which is the depth door 2. And then depth door 1. And then the catch codex we'll put next. That's the wrong thing. I want the codex. There we go. Alright. As you can see, it's starting to come out a little better. We're going to bump it up just a little bit more, I think, on fuel, on gas wise. See if we can get like 3.5-ish. And that'll give us a pretty good symmetrical hexagon here. And then it's just a matter of making sure that we don't run into the ice out in front of us, which we can look at by hitting V and see that there's no ice in the direction we're heading. And then right back into our view of looking at this. This up here is the radio in case we crash. Well, that's managed crew, but that's the radio in case we crash. Call for rescue. Or run out of fuel, which probably won't happen since we have 600,000 liters on board. And if we mix this big one coming right here, if we miss this big one right here, which looks like we might just be missing it because it's not quite the right spot. And as the wider this goes, we need to pick up the speed a little bit more so that it stays like right at 200, or it will start getting red over here. I'm hoping it'll pick part of that up, but as we go faster too, that raises these up. And we want to be at least, I think it is 50 meters down on these to catch fish. But if you go too deep, that's a problem too, so you gotta kind of have to play with it a little bit to learn and see where you're at. So we're gonna drop the line out a little bit further, but these are correct now, so we have starboard side with the starboard line, port with the port. And you see this part down here is getting darker. That's good for us. Hopefully we'll see some numbers coming up on the 0 right here. That'll be the index of fish that we have coming in. And obviously if it goes red, I'm just going to turn the line stopping them, because that's where we want to be. Man, like we're right in the middle of that line, but we're not catching anything. It doesn't make sense. We're right there, looks like 112 meters deep, and we're coming close to it. Should start seeing something here any second. And we just switch to a different one. This one says it's 229 meters deep, so I don't know if we're going to make that one or not. I'm going to stop these pretty soon though, because 100 meters is perfect. We should start getting something. If we don't, we'll haul back in and try again. We'll pull this 30-ish% in and see what we're catching anyway. There we go. Now we got a few fish coming in, which is weird because the school's clear over here now. But hey, I'll take 3. That's fine. Just keep coming 3 the whole time. There we go, 7. This is actually a pretty deep, pretty decent one here. Just let's get to 40%. Let's get all the way up to 40. Then we can pull it in. See how much fish we got. It's almost there. It's like 39.5% full. I think that's probably gonna be good though. We'll pull it in and see where we're at. I did this mainly so you guys can see the trawling. So we're gonna pull and pull. Here in a second, we're gonna call the crew and get them put back out. They're still resting for right now, which is fine. We'll exit back out of that. We'll watch this, and we can't pull it until it gets to these get to 25 anyway. So we'll just pull them up and see what happens. Maybe we'll hit a school on the way up, and I can stop the lines and fill the rest of the net up. As you can see, I'm pulling the lines in, so it's making me slow down too. If I wanted this to stay symmetrical, I'd give it more gas, but it doesn't matter when I'm pulling it in. Because as soon as I start pulling, they can't get back out anyway. Alright, so we're almost there, right there, and now we can pull it. Well, the trawl net is. What are you talking about? Okay. That makes no sense. Why is it not letting? There we go. Now it's doing it. Alright. So if we go over here to this side over here, you're going to see a big giant net come up out of the water. It's like a, I don't know, stomach sack, maybe? Something, I don't know. But it'll raise this up, and somehow the fish gets pumped into the hold, and it'll tell us here in a second how much fish we caught. We got 83,668 kilograms of pollock. And as you can see, we still have 716,000 available. So if we hit V, we can switch these guys over, because they're done working, to setting the trawl, and then we can instantly go right back into setting the new trawl. And she's already cooked up everything, so I'm going to put her to rest. In case one of these guys get tired, I can switch them out. And of course, we'll give it just a tiny bit of speed to start with. Maybe about there. And when these get to 25 meters, I'll put those crew to rest. Man, that song just got a lot louder. There we go. Alright, so you can control everything but the trawl length from right here. To see like the speed, the symmetrical. All it is speeding up and slowing down and stopping these lines when you get to a certain depth that you want to be at. And I think this time we're going to go for like 70 depth and just cruise at like 3.3 knots, maybe 3.5 knots, somewhere in there. We don't want to get going too fast, because like if you're over 5, it just brings the nets up and you won't be able to catch much, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I played this part of the game. Alright, so we're going to stop these at 70, or close, 70, 71. And then we're just going to cruise and see if we can get on one of these sections over here. Like we're currently tracking this one over here, which we probably won't hit because it's going to go past us. This one, we have a good chance, but it's 600 meters deep, so by the time we get down there, we'll be past it. There's no reason to even try. We'll just wait, see what happens here in a minute or two. I've actually put the boat out here, dropped the net, and been full before I even got to the depth I wanted to be at, and wasn't moving. Which doesn't make sense. It should be a little more realistic than that. The new game, Fishing North Atlantic Fishing, or Fishing North Atlantic, it is way more realistic. Like this here, you can't break the trawl lines. On that game, you can. Alright, so we're not being very symmetrical, so I think I'm going to raise these lines out a little further deep. Drop them down a little further, I mean. Because we want to try to have this symmetrical as much as possible, because that helps us in the catching of fish. And looking at this, it looks like we're going a little bit too slow at 3.2, so I'm going to bump it up one notch and see if it spreads out a little bit to be better for us. I'm just going to keep watching these right here because I want to get that as close to symmetrical as possible, and then this one here will actually come out too if it's symmetrical. Again, 427. I believe there's another one we can get, which is the forward sonar. Is that the one? No, that's the one I already have out. flow? No, that's not the one. There's one that'll tell us the yeah, we don't care about the temperatures or the tensions. I don't think that really matters. The tilt wasn't one of them. I thought there was another distance. Oh, there we go. Head rope. No, that's there. That's there. That's not the one I'm looking for. Distance door. Maybe it's a distance door one. Yeah, see how this is 208 meters apart? Oh, we're catching fish now too. So I'm going to stop the lines. And we just lost that one. This right here is how wide, that's this number right here, the distance in the door. So we need to bump the speed up a little bit to bring that closer together so it's under 200. See? Bump the speed up just a little bit. So keep it like, you know, maybe 4. I don't want to get going too fast. But these are both at 100. This should be just below 200 because it's the actual width of the door. This is the depth of the top of the rope. This is the depth of the ocean floor. So we should be able to get part of this one maybe if we're lucky. It's 270. We're at 165 at the top of it. Going a little too fast. And there's a way to tilt the doors and stuff, but I haven't figured that out. It's like very difficult. I'm not exactly sure how to explain it though. It's how you can change the angles of the doors, so like they can push them close together or push them deeper, push them further up in the water. You know, I'm just not knowledgeable enough on it to know what exactly it does or how it does it properly. Man, I want to get this net filled though. Let's see what we're looking at for still ways away from the ice, which is fine. But somewhere out there is ice. So let's see here. We're tracking this one, right, little school right here, which is at 390 meters. We're at 152, the top of the net. So we might be able to get part of that. And now we're over here on this one here. And we're catching 4. I think I should drop the net down a little bit more maybe. I'm not sure now, it's already passed. But I am going to drop the net down a little further. See if we can get it back down to 100 on the length of the lines. I gotta be careful not to go too far out because I don't want to get this too wide. Because I can only go so fast before it throws the speed part of it out of whack, and then we wouldn't be catching any fish anyway. Oh, we got a little speck of that one there. We should be pretty close to being on this one here shortly. As you can see, we're up to 30% already. I'm going to bump the speed up just a little bit more. Since our doors are still going down, it's almost there. I want to get them all as close to being on the dotted line as possible. We're at 219 on that. We're at 177 on the top, so should be coming pretty close to being right on that one. It's a lot to watch when you're first trying to learn it, but After a while, you figure out that you need to watch these two here, and you need to watch this one here, and this one here. The rest of the stuff, it doesn't really matter, because you can be 50 meters deep, or you can be 200 meters deep, and you'll still be able to catch fish if you're paying attention to keeping this symmetrical. Like I said, this line for some reason is not coming out like it should, probably because I'm still releasing line. So if I stop these lines now, so we're right in the middle of that. This is a 132 and we're at 192, so we're probably a little deep now, but bump the speed up just a touch more. And as this pulls out, we should be pretty good on this one here. It's coming right in line with our doors here. And you see this down here is getting darker, which means we should start getting fish on this thing here showing here in a second. If this goes red, we'll be at 9. I think we might pass right by it though, unfortunately. Yep. Too bad. Looks like we're too deep now. As you see, these guys are at 70 meters deep now instead of, there we go. That's what we wanted. We're right in the middle of the school. We should start catching fish. And the more fish we have in the net too, the slower we'll go. So we got to watch our speed when we start getting fuller and fuller and fuller. All that, and we only got like 5% in the net though. That's weird. These over here, these real dark spots that are round like this, those are whales. In case you ever are looking around, you can go like this and look around somewhere, and usually you'll be able to find the whales when you see them like that. Those birds in the water kind of make it difficult at times. I'm not seeing them right now. But that's what they are, those are little pods of whales. When they're like they're round spots like that. As you can see, we're almost to 40%, so we got like probably close to another 80,000 fish in the tank. As you see, I haven't changed the speed, and we've already slowed down because we added almost 10%. We're down half a knot, so I'm going to bump the speed up just a little bit more. Try to keep the symmetry going good, and if we don't hit something here in a second, we'll pull it up because there's no big spots here anyway. And you can always leave open water and come right back to it, so you're in a better spot too. And I believe while we're in the middle of pulling this one in, I'm going to go AFK for a few seconds to grab a drink. But I'm hoping to get like the up above 60, some in the 40 to 60 range here before I start pulling this one in. I mean, I could pull it part way in, just not pull it all the way in. See if we can maybe get on something, on one of these smaller ones that are closer up. Maybe we're still 800 meters deep to the seafloor and 200 to our net. And as we start pulling these lines in too, you'll also notice that we'll start slowing down a little bit too again. This number will start decreasing because it'll be pulling the doors closer together. I'm going to get to 100 and then we're going to cruise right there for a second. See what happens. I wish we would actually stay on one that we're tracking, like this one's right here. We want that one, and now that one. Alright. I'll be back in just a couple seconds. So one other thing I forgot to talk about. I don't know why. See this how these are going higher up? It's because the clearance to the bottom of the ground is 8 meters. The opening is 118 and the height's 126. So we're way down too deep. So we need to pull some line in. So we're gonna go ahead and pull the trawl this time. And if we get lucky enough to catch something on the way up, that's fine. But yeah, we're way shallower than we were. As you see, this line's going further apart, slowly. That's because we're picking it up and it's moving. But we should be able to get right on this here in a second, I think, if we're lucky. We'll have a steady flow coming through here, which should bring this up. It would be nice to see a whale right over here, so it all comes rushing this way towards us. Because these fish do run from the whales. I think I put the wrong ones out here too. I think I'm supposed to have linked out there, not depth. We want this door first, right? Yeah. Yeah, so we're 230 meters deep, so it's going to take forever to pull all that line back in. Yep, I grabbed the wrong ones. That's an easy fix. We're going to get rid of this, get rid of this. We're going to put door 3 depth. I was going to put the one down here is what we're going to do. And then we're going to change, we'll put actually both of them right there. And then we'll take the hawk and put it up here next to this. Or, no, we'll put the hawk back up here. We're going to put the catch codex back over here, and the distance back over here. So the codex, the distance. We could probably lose this 3rd depth, I think. We'll put the hawk right there, which is the height opening clearance. So we're still right on the bottom of the ground because we have, 200 meters of line out, or 150 meters of line out still. But it's working. It's coming back up. So I had the settings set wrong, so I apologize. Like I said, it's been a while since I played this game. Well, for trawling, I've played quite a bit of fishing, but just not the trawling part of it. See, we're starting to get a little clearance off the ground here, though. We're at 14 now. So once we get these to 100, we should be good. Though we're still dragging because we're only at 250. See, the height is 140 difference. So yeah, let's just pull it up a little further. Maybe get these up to 90s. I want to get that like 20 to 30 meters off the bottom to see where we're at. Once we get to the other big boat, we'll be able to catch all kinds of fish down here because it'll be a bottom trawler. This is actually a pelagic, I don't remember how to pronounce it. But yeah, it's trawling through the middle of the other one. See, we're way higher than what I wanted to be, but that's fine. We'll stop the nets now. So as you see, we're 100 off the bottom now because we're going deeper. And this one here is 102 meters deep. So the height of this is 260 off the bottom. So yeah, this is going to be a little off, but I think we might be able to catch part of it. But you see how narrow the doors are? They're only 39 meters. So we're just not going to catch fish at that, I don't think. Maybe we will. We're getting lucky right here. Hopefully we'll get some of that in here. I think we're at the wrong depth though. As you see, it's gone way deeper. Okay, so we're gonna finish pulling the trawl doors in. We're gonna reset to where we're at a different spot. We're gonna stop the engines. I mean, we could still pull fish in until these lines get to 25. These are the ones I was talking about being at 25, not the other ones I saw before. But we got almost 40%, so we should be somewhere around 80,000 for this one, which is fine. We'll get these guys called out to pull the net. Exit out of that. And see, it's right there. We can pull it now. It's green. And we'll go to the other view. Then once we get into this, we're going to leave open water, come back to open water, so that we're at a different spot than what we are right now. And so it's just a big old turd, I guess. No better way to put it. And then we're going to start pushing fluids through there, and it pumps them all into right in there. I'm surprised I don't attach this hose to it, but for some reason, where they're at is where it works. And this one we caught 72,000 pounds. Pollock again. So we have 156,000 pounds of pollock on here right now. And if we look at our log books for our most recent sale on pollock, we're looking at 10 to 25 kroner per kilogram. So it's just a very fast way to make money quick. So we're going to put these guys to haul trawl or set trawl. We're going to go back to port water. Then we're going to go to open water, and we're going to be in a different spot. Now we're going to, of course, we're already right here, so we're going to set the trawl, and we're right on top of the fish already. So now it's just a matter of getting it to the right depth, which it's hard to see. We're 425 from the bottom. The opening is supposedly 118. And the height is still way high. But if we just sit here for a couple seconds, let these lines come out to where they're, 75 to 100, somewhere in there, and then we'll start moving the boat a little bit, and we should be catching fish. Or if this number changes at all, we're going to hit the gas right away and try to suck as much into that as possible. I wish there was a way to run these lines from in this view. See, we're hitting fish right now. 9 fish right now. So we're going to give it a little bit of gas. See if we can suck as much of that in here as possible. We're almost at 20% already. And we're off to 0 now. Okay. That's fine. Because there's more. Now it's coming back. I think I want to stop these lines. Get back at the view of this. See how we're doing 4.1 already. The distance between the doors is 100 meters and spreading out. Distance is 100 meters, so we're actually pretty symmetrical. Might be going a little fast for the size that we have open right now. But the depth of the doors themselves are at 50s, which means that's the top. And I think this is 128, so we could probably go a little deeper. But of course, the further we go out, the longer it takes to bring them back in. And we're already at 30% when we just put the net out. looks like we might be, we're passing that one. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to slow it down just a little bit. We're going to kick these out a little further. Get this to like the 125 range. So these ones here are a little deeper. Because the clearance is only 260 off the bottom, which is still fine. We just don't want to make sure it doesn't go way too deep. There we go. Now we're right on top of that one. So we're at the right depth that we want to be at. Speed up just a little bit because we're going a little slow. We're almost at 40%, and then we lost the fish. Hopefully we can get back on them. Or get on this one here, one of the two. I'd like to actually have one of these things fill up so it goes up to 9 so I can show you that again, because it is helpful. You'll see a lot of 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, sometimes 7s, not a whole lot of 9s. So if you're really on the fish and you're in the right spot and you're just filling them up, this thing here, this net percentage wise, will just go and be done. You'll be pulling back in. Just about that quick too. But you really have to be on a big school in the right spot and be having, like I said, that 9 fish coming through. You have to be holding everything just perfect for that to happen. Which is not hard to do, but I guess I haven't figured out the whole turning aspect. Like, if I get out of this view and I go to this view, if I want to turn to the port, I should be going to the right. But on that other view, it's different. I think it's looking back this way, so they're considering this one port and this one starboard. I don't know, it's hard to understand it at times, but when you're on the fish, you're on the fish, and you're making lots of money. As you'll see when we take I'll probably take like half a boatload in, so we'll have like 400,000 pounds. And you'll see how much money we make off that, and we'll be able to pay off that 35 million kroner loan really quick. I just don't think that spending 10 million kroner to have the we're up to 6 now. That's good. 10 million kroner to have the extra 200,000 kilograms is worth it. But as you see, just that one little blip up to 7 and back down, we gained 10%. And if everybody was wondering, this right here is our boat. So that puts us at like 52% on the net, I believe. So I think we're going to start pulling it in now. We'll keep watching here. If we get on something big, we'll stop the lines. Like that. If we just hit any part of this, we'll be full in no time. We're still on 6s at the moment, so it's still filling up pretty fast. We're at 7. We're into the 60 to 80% range now, which is good. Like I said, the most you can see is 80. You can't see it get to 100, which doesn't make sense. You should be able to, but it is what it is. Yeah, alright, we'll start pulling lines in now. See if we can catch some fish on the way up. Hopefully it'll bump over to this one. We'll get this one here right as it gets to the doors get up. And we need to switch these guys over. since I forgot to move them last time. There's still two. They are still okay on their stamina. So yep, as soon as they get up to 25 meters, we can pull a trawl. See how much fish we caught for this run. So I'd like to get to like 400,000 pounds, maybe 500,000, and take it in. We should get, I don't know, probably several million for that. I think if we're at like 500,000 pounds, let's just say at an average of 15 kroner a kilogram, that should put us at 7.5 million for one load. So, you know, it's a good way to make money. We already have, what's it say here? 156,000. So at 15, we're probably sitting at what, 225 or 2.25 million right now in the boat. Plus whatever we catch here. Actually, that's an average number too, because you can't really tell exactly what you're going to get until you get inside and see the cut of this right here. It's like we had under 5 kilograms. It's 5 to 10 kilograms is 18.4. 10 to 16 is 23.3. Greater than 16 is 25. So our average is actually probably going to be closer to 18 or 19. So it's going to be closer to 10 million for this if we get to 500,000. Alright, so these lines are good. We're not going to catch any more fish because it's too high. So we're getting in position and we'll watch them pull in the net here. See where we're at. Raising the stern crane into position. Getting ready to start pumping fish right now. They're pumping it in. When this little bar up here gets to 3, we'll be done and it'll tell us how much we have. And that time we caught 122,000 pounds. Kilograms, sorry, not pounds. So we're at a total of 278,000 kilograms right now. So we have to go over here. We're going to switch these guys over to set trawl so that we can get the new net back out. Everything's ready to go. Set trawl. And as you see, we're right on top of some fish already. I'm going to let these lines go out. See if we can get right onto it without moving the boat first. Hello Rob, how you doing? This is the new form of fishing, Rob. This is trawling. As you can see, we're in a much bigger boat. And this one will hold 800,000 total. Alright, we're going to put these guys to rest. Give these two here for some food because they like to have no stamina. And this is our good cook, so we'll put her back over to cooking. And we still have the 2 extra ones. We'll check the damage on the boat if we have any. Nope, we're still at 100%. Still got 640,000 liters of fuel. So everything there's good. Now it's just time to watch this and see. As you can see, just as in the dropping of the net, we're almost 90 meters and we already have 5% of fish in the net. And we haven't even started the engines up yet. Come on. Why aren't you going? There we go, right about there, I think. So hopefully we can get on this school right here, start seeing some fish come through the net. It's pretty deep here. We're at 680 meters. So I gotta be careful to watch this. I don't want to get too deep in case we start getting shallower. And we're at our 140 length, so that should be good for that. now it's just driving along a little bit and seeing about getting some more fish in here. It says all about managing these lines, this distance, the symmetry of the boat. Like these are all out in the right spot. I don't know why this isn't coming out here further. I'll bump the speed up just a little bit more. I'd like to have these a little deeper, I think, maybe. Which again, that constitutes learning how to run the trawl doors, because there is a way to angle them. I just haven't figured it out properly yet. Because there is this over here you can do to change the trawl doors. And if we go up here, there is the tilt on the trawl door, which, like I said, I don't know much about it and how to get it just right and make it work. But there's that tilt. There's a tilt for the coat end. You know, the way the fish are coming through. There's also the second coat end and the second door. So I mean, if you really want to watch everything, you'd see this right here. But again, I have no idea how to change those to make them work properly the way I want it to. So I just kind of skip that part, and if I get lucky, I get lucky. If I don't, I don't. A few fish coming through. We're up above 10% now. They're going 4 knots. I should probably drop this a little deeper, because this isn't very shallow here. Remember, this is pretty shallow, not very deep. This should be the depth of the top of the door for the net, I believe. I just messed up and killed one of those. What did I have in there? The depth of the door. And we want to put the hawk back over here in the right spot. Alright. So we're going to go a little deeper on the lines. See if we can get this at like the 75, 80 meter. And this is as close to 200 as possible without going over. And then we'll mess with our speed. To get the symmetry just right. So we've got a few fish coming in, not a whole lot, but it's going to creep up a little bit. I mean, if we could continually keep a 1 to 5 going in here, it wouldn't take us long to fill this net up either. See, we're still at 2, and it's already up to 30%. So we just keep it steady with numbers coming in, we'll be catching fish. Gotta be careful because this line's getting a little long. It's starting to come out of the symmetry part of it, so we're gonna give it a little more gas, speed that up, and pull those a little closer together. We should bring this in. But as you see, these are starting to climb out a little bit, and it's looking pretty close to accurate. A little too fast now. I want to keep it, you know, like I said, around that 3.5 range. We got 4 fish coming in now, and then we got these close to 90. These lengths are 250, so I'm going to stop these lines from going out any further. And now we'll adjust it with just speed. So as we get more fish in the net, the slower it's going to go. So we got to, you know, bump the speed up a little bit more to keep it right at the right, because if not, this will get too wide and we won't catch any fish anyway, because the symmetry will be way out of whack. Are you learning, Rob? You gonna buy the game? And we're back to 0, which is fine. We still got 50% plus in here. We can pull it in. We'll be probably at like 320,000 total. So I want to try to get to 400,000 or 500,000 before we go in. You do have to remember too that if you stay out here too long, that your fish will start to go bad because you're not freezing them on this boat. On the other boat, you'll be freezing them. But we can't buy that one then. That one's still like, it's 20 million for that ship plus all the upgrades and stuff for it. So you're looking at, you know, probably a $35 million ship, or kroner ship. Slowing way down because of how much fish we got in the net. But I think that 60%, that's good. We're going to start pulling these lines in and get ready for the next. She's done cooking. Put her back over here. These guys are all rested up, so we'll put them on haul trawl. I mean, I could use these guys here because they have more stamina, but I want to get these two guys' stamina up for when we get the other ship, because there's so much going on with the other ship. And now we're up into the 65% range. Catching a few fish off this one way over here. I don't know how that works, but since, I mean, it's like ahead of the boat or behind, I don't know. It's way off. But still catching fish, so that's fine. These are still far enough depth that we'll be able to catch fish for quite a ways while we're bringing them in, because we have 200 meters of line out. And of course, it looks like we're touching the bottom too. So the clearance 1 foot on the bottom, 130 to the head rope. So we're a little deeper than I want to be. Let's see, so at 40% we were at 80,000, 60% we were 120, so maybe we'll have like 150,000 in right now. I mean, if we fill it up, it'll be 170, maybe 160. This is touching the ground. That's funny. Still, and we're at 314 depth supposedly. So the net is what, 130 meters from clearance to the bottom to the 130 opening. So, which doesn't make sense because these says there's 26 meters, and we're at 311 meters. So that and 130 does not make that. So I don't know what's going on. Even this, that, and that doesn't make this number here. But we'll get it up here, get these 25 meters, pull the trawl and see where we're at. Maybe reset back over to the original starting spot from the open water. It's starting to come up with the ground now. But we're only 52 meters wide. So unless it comes right through here, we're not going to catch anything anyway. That's way too far off to the starboard side. It just look like it changes a little bit here, but I didn't see any fish come through here. If I want to all stop engines, hit X. So then we'll go back down to 0. As you see, we'll start pulling this in. Look at the other view here in a second. It's 25 now. We can haul the trawl. The doors are in. The crane's coming down to pick up the net. This one's coming to grab to the front of it, so we'll have this crane lift up. It'll pump the fish through, and we'll start seeing how much we make. We're at 278,000 currently. Be nice to make like 150 on this one. 135. Okay, that's good. So now we're at 413. So if we do the trawl net one more time, we'll be able to probably be right around the 500,000 mark. So we'll set this trawl. Hopefully we'll be right on some good fishing. There's a couple of spots here that look good. I'm gonna put these guys to rest as soon as it gets 25 meters. We'll worry about speed here in a second. Alright. Put these guys to rest. Nope, they're still setting the trawl. There we go, now they're idle. Get them all moved over here, relaxing. And we can go to watching this stuff now. We got 5 fish coming through, so this will start coming up. And I had not even started moving yet. We're still sitting still. So we're gonna jump out of that. We're gonna give it a little bit of gas. Right about there, I think. Yeah, I know it went to 0, but I mean we have to be moving a little bit, or it just doesn't work right. I mean it'll still come in, but they won't come in very fast. So this is our ship right here. Port door, starboard door. I'm gonna get these to, I don't know. Looks like probably a good spot because we're already close to the bottom for the clearance rate. Don't want to go too deep. We're like probably 250 and 90. Yeah, we're probably just about scraping the bottom. I could probably pull these in a little bit and have it work better. Which I think I'm going to do. I'm going to pull them in. Get these to like maybe 100 meters length. That means these lines should be real close. Watching the clearance and I'm watching the depth and everything all together, trying to make everything just work right. Stop the port door and stop the starboard door, or line I mean. We have a tiny bit of clearance. Almost 3 knots, which is fine. This is, I don't know, this is bugging me. It's not actually becoming symmetrical like it's supposed to. Probably because I'm too deep for the actual depth that we're in. I'd like to be in the 800 range for this over here. How much fish do we have? We have 413,000, so we need to catch like 90,000 to be. So we need to be about in the 45 to 50% range. Hopefully we'll get on this one here. That's a big dark spot. That should be a whale. There it is right there. There's a spray. couldn't find it last time. I found it this time. If we go back into that view, you'll see it's right there. Right in front of the ship. And of course, it's pushing the fish away from us. So we'll have to hopefully get on this one over here instead then. As much as I don't want to do it, I think I'm going to pull the lines back in and then jump back out to the port water and then jump back out to open water, because the weird, I don't know, it's just weird how it works sometimes that you'll be in a spot where it's really super shallow and you just don't catch much of a fish. So we're going to set these guys up for hauling the trawl real quick. We'll haul it in and then we'll move them for setting before we jump out to port water. Hopefully we'll catch maybe a little something on the way in. Not looking like it though. The whale kind of ruined our fishing this time. Trawl now. I say it's funny too, because if you watch this, it's gonna be the same size and there's nothing in there for fish. But the graphics are kind of whacked on that part of it. The little tube thing's still the same size. We're gonna have like, I don't know, 10,000-15,000 pounds maybe. If we're lucky. Might be less than that. We only had what, 10-12%. Okay, 23,000. Better than I thought. So we're at 437,000 pounds. We're going to switch these guys over. We're going to exit out of that. We're going to jump to port water. And we got the new boat. We could, if we had the money to buy that, we could buy that, but we don't have the money for it right now. Especially with our 39 million kroner loan out. But we're going to jump to this one. Then we're going to go to this view. And we're going to just set the trawl right away. And hopefully, we'll start catching some fish. I believe these have to be at least 20 or 25 meters before you can start catching fish. But as you see, we're at 857 depth now, so it'll be a little more lenient on how far out the length that we can go and how far the depth of the doors will be, you know, because it won't matter. But if you add this number and this number, it's really close to that number. So I guess we need to go by the length of the rope and the height of the opening, or the head rope or something. And then we'll have a 140 meter cleaner, 140 meter opening to the lower line, which is 645 meters off the bottom of the boat, or the seafloor. We'll start moving a little bit here, since we got them down quite a bit. try this at the 2 nautical miles, 2 knots, to see what that does. I haven't bumped down that far before. The only bad thing is these things are way deeper, so you have to kind of pay attention to your lines and everything, and hopefully we can get one that's see, that's too deep also. We're not going to be able to make that one. So we'll get these to 100 range for the depth of the doors, and wherever the lines are at, that's where they're going to be at. It's fine. Alright, so we'll stop at starboard. Wait 2 seconds, stop that. Real accurate, real close to being right on. We're doing 2.5 knots. As you see, these are becoming more symmetrical. Maybe we'll go just a touch faster. See if we can get it right at 3. See if we get the symmetry of this thing going just right, and hopefully we'll get on a school and just pass right through them and pick them all up. Because right now we're probably sitting at about 6.5 million, 7 million in the hold. I'm just taking a guess there because I'm not exactly sure. Here, fishy, 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 come on. I wish we could scroll over it and see where it actually the percentage amount was. We're starting to come up in depth too. But we can make 7 million on this ship, I want to say, with the money that we have in the bank currently, which is what 17. That puts 24. So we'll have to make like 2 more trips to have that loan paid off. I am not catching anything here at the moment, except a cold from being out here in the weather. Let's go a little deeper. I guess put this crew away too. Let them rest, since we're not catching anything anyway. So I want to have these around 100, maybe 125. We got one fish coming through. You want to make sure that these two here stay within like 10, maybe 15 meters difference. Like right now they're at 9 meters difference, so what I'll do is I'll stop this one and I'll let this line go out a little further so it's actually matches, so they're a lot closer. So I might have 200 meters out on this one and 210 meters out on this one. Now we gotta watch this number here, because we don't want it to go over 200. So we're going to speed up a little bit, I think, if it starts getting wider again. Since they're 194, 195 range, we're fine though. I could actually go a little deeper to get the symmetry just right. But we need to speed up if we're going to do that. See if we can get that symmetry just right. See how that one's going red when it hits 200? When this number hits 200, this line here goes red. And I don't want to get going too fast, because that, if it gets up to 5 knots, it'll start going red also. It's kind of a balancing act right at the moment. Just need to hit on one of these. Just need to hit on one of them and we'll fill up. We got a lot of line out right now though. We still got a decent clearance though, 240 off the bottom. Start pulling them in, because this is just jumping down really fast, and I don't want to speed up to speed up too much. So hopefully we'll grab this one here, get the right depth. I may have to speed. I'm gonna have to speed up a little bit. If not, we're gonna be dragging the bottom here in a second, which we're probably going to anyway. Yeah. Oh well. We're still under the red at the moment, so it's fine. Too bad we're not still on that one, but that's fine too. We'll catch some fish here in a second. This is probably one of the hardest types of fishing there is, because you have to just, like I said, it's kind of a, I don't know, kind of like a spreadsheet management thing. You have to watch these lines, watch these lines, watch this, try to watch this in your speed, and it's just everything involved trying to get just right. As you see, we're like no clearance whatsoever. Our depth doors are nothing. We have this much line out. We're going way faster than we should be. It's gonna be hard to catch fish at that rate. Our depth is just horrible at the moment. If you see way over there, that white line, that's ice flow. So we gotta keep an eye on that too. Oh, we're getting a little clearance now. That's good. I did slow us back into 3.3 knots too. We're going a little deeper again. That's okay. So that's probably a good spot to stop the lines right there then. See if we can get something going through them. Got a couple of schools coming up here. One over there, two right here. Maybe we'll hit one of those and get some fish in. slow down just a little bit so we can get these doors to drop. As you can see, we're back to almost 500 meters deep and the school's way below us. We might be able to get part of it though. I think this is like a top view. So like this is our boat going this way. Those are the, we're going this way, I think. And those are the doors. But I'm not sure exactly where the opening of the net is in relationship to the doors itself. Stop the engines. And I'm going to drop the lines out a little further. See if we can pick something up. Since we're back to 700 meters again. Oh, we're getting something right here. That's the part I don't understand, because if it's the doors are over here, how am I catching fish in that over there? You think it would have to be between here somewhere for us to catch fish. Like I said, this is a top view, and that's just like close to the door. But I think it says we're 25 degrees off from there, so we'd have to turn to port to actually hit that properly. But I mean, just hitting it the way we did, just dropping lines out, we got what, 12-14% off that one. So I'm going to stop the lines right there because we're at 125 and 130 meters deep on this, 131 and 137. And I'm going to move just a little bit. I'm going to try to get us up to like 2 knots, I want to say. See if we can keep these somewhat right there. As you can see now that we're moving, the doors are coming away from the boat a little bit. They're narrowing up a little bit, which is good. It'll help with symmetry. Not quite going fast enough yet though. So I want to be like 2.5 knots and see if I can get this line to come out and start catching fish. Lots and lots of fish. Come on, let's catch something. There, this little small one over here. Another whale coming through. Where is it at? Right there. So that's in front of our boat. So we're going this way. So we're heading towards this school. We're just not close enough to it. This one's behind us. So the likelihood we're going to hit anything on this one here is slim. The next one's probably going to be this one or this one here. But those whales need to go away so we don't have to keep fighting with them chasing our fish away. Just had a little blip hit the edge of the door here. We're at 3. So I'm try to keep it as close to 2.5 knots as I can. Now it looks like we're going for this one over here, and we're still on the 3, so we're catching fish still. And it just jumped over to this one here, and we're not catching anything. What a bummer. It's alright though, we'll just keep cruising along here. I mean, this is probably enough to get us to that 500,000 kilogram mark, but I want to try to get a little more if I can. What I won't do is put the net out when I have like 720, 730,000 and then end up throwing back half a load because it fills up really quick. I'll just go in at that point. This is what I've done before. Don't want to be wasteful. Come on, let us hit a little something on here. Let us hit a little something of this one. Come on. It's weird how that jumps the tracking on them. But we got a couple fish coming through, so I'll take it. Going a little faster than I want to go, but that's okay. Adjust it accordingly and try to keep on them fish as much as possible. Got several small schools coming up. I saw a little red blip right there a second ago, so we probably have a good school coming up here too. Down to 1, but we're still almost to 40%. So if you can keep it steady, you know, the 2 to 5 range on this, you'll fill the boat up. It just fills up faster when it's on 9. Just got to manage all these numbers. As you can see, we're coming back up. How far out's the ice flow? It's still quite a ways. Wish this was closer to right at that 200 mark though. That means these are wider. But if we can keep these close to 100, 150 is good for there, I guess. Like I said, it'd be better if it was 200 because then we have a wider base to catch fish from. I've actually come out here and started to drop my net, and before I was down to this range right here, I was full and pulling it back in without even moving. It's weird how it works. For some reason it won't come off that one to go to a different net one too. Too bad this one wasn't right in the middle here. I like when I start seeing lines going across here because it usually means we're going to start getting more fish, but I'm not seeing a whole lot on the screen right now. What do we have for fish again? 437, so we need 63,000. And it gave us 80,000 at 40%, so we're probably right there. Let's go ahead and pull it in and get these guys set up for hauling the trawl when it gets up. And then we'll see where we're at. Like I said, I want to go in with 500,000 kilograms. The fish aren't cooperating though. This is what they call it, fishing, not catching. As you see, just pulling the nets in slows us down by half a knot. do is maybe we'll pull some haddock up this time too. Haddock's worth let's see. Haddock. We got 10 to 19 kroners per kilogram on that one. Then we got 10 to 25 kilograms on the pollock, so we definitely want the pollock right now. We'll see what happens, what comes up. I believe right now we're all, it's all pollock. Check that by going to the storage. Yeah, all pollock. As you see, the furthest one out is 24 hours. Fish begin to rot after 8 days, and after 14 days will not be sellable. So you don't want to be out here for 8 days, you want to be out here for 1 or 2 days. Catch your fish and go back in. Get the best price for it. As soon as that gets 25, we can pull the trawl. There we go. And we'll go over here to the side view so I have to listen to the seagulls, because there's a lot of them out there. So we're looking for almost 63,000 kilograms in this load. And if we get it, we'll go in. So we're at 500,000 now. Good, that's exactly where we wanted to be. We'll put the crew to rest, because if not, they're going to be just plumb tired by the time we get there. And we're going to go to port water, and we should be able to look at the map. There it is. So we are, where are we at? We are right there. Now we can either go up here to this spot here, or we can travel down here to this one, this one. This one would be probably difficult to get into. I think that this one's probably going to be the closest and easiest one to get into. So we'll just travel over here real quick. Something like that. I'm going to try to stop as close to that 2 as possible so I can get that spot here, that little tiny spot opened up. Just for map wise. As you see, it's not showing there now, so now it's open. And we're at the dock. I'm gonna just nose it in. Hopefully I can back it right back out, because we're only gonna be here for a few seconds. We have plenty of fuel. We're not gonna fill up any fuel. No reason to waste that money right now. I don't want to go too fast into the dock, so it'll crash us. And right about there. So we can make anywhere between 2 million and 15 million kroner off the 504,000 kilograms. So here we go, and it's going to be 8 million. That's close, it's 7.5. So we're going to check the thing right here, see what we have for jobs. We're not going to take swordfish, we're not going to take people out to look at animals. So we can just go ahead and undock, back up here a little bit, go right back out to open water again. But as you see, we're at 25 million kroner and our loan is at 35 million, I believe it is. So we're going to just go right to there, go right to the edge here, spend less fuel getting out to here. Plus, we can look at pollock real quick. There's a good spot over here we can go to if we really wanted to. And haddock. Right where we're at, so we might catch some haddock this time. Exit out of that. We're gonna go to the. Alright, so seagulls haven't caught up to us yet. We're going to get these guys out to set trawl. Close that. Go to this view. And we're going to set the net out. As you can see, we have a couple of schools right next to us. One over here, one over here. I'd like to have it drop down, fill up, pull it back in. See the doors are coming out. At the 20 range, we can put our guys to rest for right now. They're still setting. Okay, there we go. So they're at rest. Now we can go back to watching the screen. And as you see, we're heading a different direction this time because of where we landed in the water. I mean, you can adjust that if you want to. You want to travel east to west, north to south. Just know that there's ice flow. Like if we're going east or west, I mean, I can't remember now because where we came in from over that way, I believe. So everything up that way and everything over that way, as you can see the little bit of white right there, is an ice flow. And we do have fish coming in. And I haven't even started to move, as you can see, 0 knots. Just from the lines getting dropped down through the water. Turn the engines on a little bit, let them move a little bit. How deep do we want to go here? I think I'm going to take these to 150 and this will be a 125 range, I think. See, the starboard's out longer, further, and stop that one, and stop that one. Yeah, we're within a meter, that's fine. You see how this line, and this line are all pretty close to the same? So now we just need to get the speed to match that, and then this one will come out and it'll be completely symmetrical. So I'm thinking I want to be 2.5 knots maybe. Looks like closer to 3. 3.5 maybe. Hopefully this line will start coming out and we'll just start piling fishing when we hit the next school. I was hoping to come out once and just jump right onto him like I was talking about, but not happening yet. So we're at 107 there, 140 here, doing a little less than 3.5 knots. Everything looks pretty close, but for some reason this one's just not coming out to be symmetrical. Got a little bit of fish coming in. Not a lot. I mean, we're not into a big school. I mean, I've seen it where the whole screen is red, including this little flow bar here. But keeping that at, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5, well, we're already at 18%, 17%. What we don't want to do is go out too far and hit the ice floe, which we're still looking good on, so. I think once we pay off this loan, get the next boat, which will be able to let us fish for cod, pollock, haddock, everything, redfish, out here in open water, and pay off whatever loan we have to get for that one. We're going to switch over to Fishing North Atlantic, which is the secondary game of this one. Things are a little bit different though. Like you can break trawl lines when you're full. And then you lose your whole catch and you can't go out and fish anymore to go back and get a new net. Because your net's sitting on the bottom of the ocean. Go a little deeper with the lines. See if we can get on that one. Get some fish rolling in. This is a little too high. I want that around 100 if we can. And we're only at 450 though, so unless it starts dramatically going deeper quickly, the chances are not going to be good for getting this to 100. But as you see, this one's finally starting to spread out, which is what we want. Now when we get out the fish, we'll really be on them. These are a little far apart, so I'm going to have to stop this one here, let this line out a little further to make it work properly. So we're going to stop the port one, wait till this catches up, and then we'll send the port out again. Get this to like maybe 110 each. We should be right on that school. We should be catching tons of fish right now. Our symmetry's way out of whack too now. So I need to get that a little closer on these, I think. Now it's coming back out to the right. And hopefully we'll get past this one and get right on this one here. But I wanted to jump to that one. I wanted to jump to this one. This is a way denser fish population. Alright, we're going to stop those. Still 7, 8 meters apart. These are within 6, 7 meters. This is within the 200 range mark, so maybe I'll just hit the gas a little bit more, try to get it to like 4.1, 4.2, and this will spread out to be just right. We still got a good clearance on the bottom. good head rope clearance. We might be too deep, I don't know. We'll see. Get out of that one, go to this one. Go to this one, come on. Before we pass it. Had to check for ice. Yeah, see, we're not even on this one. It's going off the side of us. We should have been on that one when it was over here. Now we're going behind the doors. I don't know what's going on with this thing. We got a wheel right here too. Pushing all the fish away from us. At least we're tracking a decent one right now. We can just get on it and start catching some fish. So I don't know why it's not catching fish on this one right here. I mean, we're at the doors right there. Go away, whale, go away. See, now we're checking the right one. So this is getting denser. We should be like so. We should have fish coming in. Let me check this. There we go. Look at it get dark. 7 fish already. Just as fast gone. But yeah, there's some way of adjusting the tilt on the doors to make this better. But I mean, the flow looks right, so I'm not exactly sure why I should mess with it. Get on that one. Come on, turn red for the whole screen again. Just come this way. Scare the whale off. A little flash of red, but no fish coming through the doors. Maybe I should put the trawl doors up here and see what I can do to change the trawl doors. See if we can get them to go up and down. Left and right, maybe, I don't know. Never done it before, so I don't want to mess the things up. We got a port or starboard and port door. You got like one flowing one way and one flowing the other way, and the angle's the same. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And now we're on the bottom again. So I guess we're gonna pull in. This is what it is. Of course, now we're gonna get fish. That's what I want to see. Fish like that, yeah. Get me up to 7s, 8s, 9s. Fill this thing up. I mean, am I supposed to be fishing off the bottom? Is that what it is? That's where I'm at right now. It's touching the bottom. I wonder if I adjusted that. So I don't know what the 59 and the minus 99 means. And, you know, if we're red on the fish, why aren't we catching anything? And the tutorial for this does not explain it very well on the tilt doors. It kind of sort of explains how to, you know, keep track of this stuff here, but even that's kind of, yeah, not very well. So we'll just pull this up, we'll reset, see if we can maybe change directions. Maybe that's what I'll do while it's coming in. I want to go a little to the left. Head more north and south, I think. Just something different. Why not? There's some oil rigs out here somewhere too. I did notice those when I was fishing in my other boat. But as you see, the lines are come off to the side now. You can see how it views it differently in here. See how the boat's turning sideways. It changes the length and the distance and everything. So I'm just going to keep turning here, since like I said, these are just coming in anyway. See if we can get this up to straight north and south, or north to south, I should say. We're not going to catch anything at the moment anyway. These aren't in the right position. Those aren't in the right position. I mean, I'd be surprised if we caught anything. Let's say that. So that should be. We're going a little past. Work with me here. That's pretty close to where we want to be, I think. Not quite exact, but close enough. Stop the engines too. Maybe we can get on that one right there when we drop back in the water. Alright, are these guys ready to haul? No, we need to pull them over. And haul the trawl. We do have a horn. Oh yeah, we're on the wrong side, sorry, my bad. There we go, there's the fish. I said it won't be a whole lot, we're only at what, 30%? And we have such a huge hold. Almost 70,000 kilograms. Alright, so we'll put these guys to setting the trawl. Close that. go back into this view and we'll just set it right back down. Like I said, hopefully we'll get right on this school right here. I believe these have to be at 20 before you can move your crew. Yeah, okay. We'll put them over here. Just have them ready to go. They got plenty of stamina for right now. I want to try to get to the 180-degree range, but I'm not going to mess with it too much while it's the doors are out, unless I'm pulling in. For some reason we're tracking this small part of a school over here. Yeah, there we go. That's the one we want to be on right there. Hopefully that'll come right in as we see a couple fish already. And we're way off over here. Tracking this piece over here. Back and forth, back and forth. As long as we stay, you know, fish coming in, I don't care. To see what kind of fish that was, if it said. Yeah. We're not catching anything now. There we go. Now it's coming back. I don't want to go too deep. I think I want to try to keep this at 100. So we're going to stop these lines. See if we can do it that way. We're at 20% right now. The big school is actually moving away from us, which is not too good, but is what it is. We're still able to catch a few fish here and there off of this school here. But as you see, the steady amount of fish that was coming in just for a minute there, we're already up to 35%. And it's only been in the water for what, maybe a minute? Which means we have like 60-ish thousand pounds in a minute. If we could do that one more time, we'd be up to 80% and 70% and have 120,000 pounds in the net. We got one coming through. And these numbers here are just like the density of the fish going through the net. As you see, we're slowed down to 1.1 kilometers because this is so full right now. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Give it a little more throttle and see if we can get more fish coming in. It'd be nice if this school would come over and get it right into us too. I think this is how far it is away from us, but the problem is trying to turn into it doesn't really work real well because it makes the doors all messed up. But, I'll take that steady flow, 4 or 5 density. I prefer 9s, but it is what it is. So it's probably going to come off, start tracking one of these over here now in a second, since we're at 0 again, but we got 50% in here right now, so that's good. anything? Anything? Jump in the net? Speed up just a touch more. See if we can close the gap here a little bit, maybe get some fish coming in. As you see, I mean, it's a small symmetry, but it is symmetry right now. Because I don't have it as deep as I could have it. I mean, because ultimately, I think the best way to do it would be this like 150 range, this at 200, and this would be 3.5, maybe 4 knots, and then you'd have a full, maybe even 5 knots on that. You even have a full symmetrical effect on that. The problem is to have this at 150 and to keep this at 200, it's difficult to keep the right speed and length lines. And of course you have to worry about your depth too. Yeah, I think I'm going to drop them out a little further. See if we can get that symmetry going just right. Since we got a good depth right now, it's fine. I'd like to actually, fill this up and make it 80%, so you can see that it's full red. What I'd really like is to see this screen turn red and this number go red 9, and see how fast this fills up. We are getting closer to that one. It's 326 away now, but we're not going to be on that one. The best thing to do is try to go for this one here. I just needed to start tracking it so I know exactly what depth and stuff is at. But as you see, I'm doing 4.5 knots. That's at 150. If these were at like 150, we'd be a full 100% symmetrical right now. And truthfully, this is going to go a little out of whack here because these are so far apart. See if we can get closer. I don't want to go more than like 10 meters on this though, because then it starts throwing things out of whack on that part too. The problem is the deeper we go, the longer it takes to pull back up too. So we're going to stop it probably right about there. Get this one a little closer. See where we're at there. And we got fish coming through. Since we're finally right on that school there. And we got it the right depth and everything, I think. Because it says 284, so our head is 380 and the bottom is 260, so we should be right in between there. And of course, you see we slowed down a little bit now, so this is changing a little bit, so I'm going to give it a little more gas. Even if it doesn't catch any more fish off that one, we can still go for this one over here or this one here too. Well, that looks like it's 265. So even if there was, we wouldn't be getting much of it because we're at 240 for the bottom of the net and 360 for the top. I just want to see how much it would be for a full net. It's been a while since I played and got a full net in here. As you can see, we slowed down a little bit more, so I'm going to bring it back up. So we get to the 4.1, 4.2 range. Hopefully this will spread back out. See, now it's below our net opening. Going a little faster than I wanted to go though. I need it to switch. I wish I could tell this tracker where to go. There we go. So this one's at 310. We're at 308, 310 for the bottom of the net. So we might catch something, but I think we'd have to turn into it to do it. Like I said, I'm just not good at turning into it and getting these doors to stay proper. So I think I'm going to leave it right where it's at. And see, it's down to 270. We're still at 350. I can slow down, maybe drop it into them. See if that works. We're still, and now we're tracking one 700 meters away. It's, unfortunately I wanted this in that door, but what do we have so far? 69,000. Yeah. If we can get a full net, we'll go with like 200,000. There we go. That's what we want to see. This bar down here changing colors. I mean, it's not lasting long, but, you know, it'll fill us up quick if it stays dark for any length of time at all. As you see, we just gained like 10% in a matter of a few seconds. And that's off, I believe, this school over here, so I don't know how that exactly works, but since I think that thing is like too far away from us. But as you see this, it's negative 17, negative 26. I think that's where the trawl doors come into play. And I'm just not sure how to use those to adjust it to where I want to be. So this is what, probably 70% there, so we're like 65% maybe? We can just get one more fish roll through here. There's another whale coming by. I just don't understand why it tracks the ones way out here either. I mean, the ones closest to us are the ones we need to be tracking. Just fill the screen up one more time. Just one more time so we can be full 80%. Just like the 5-7 range for like 4 or 5 seconds. I'm actually going to stop the ship and start pulling them in. See if we can catch them on the way in. Because we got 250 and 270 meters of line out anyway. Maybe we can catch something while we sit here. And I mean, we're doing it backwards, 6 knots right now, just pulling on the net. I have had more fish come in while I was pulling a net in too, so I mean, it's possible. As you can see, the speed is way over here when it should be over here. But we're just pulling that in, so it doesn't really matter that much. I mean, obviously on a true trawling boat, you wouldn't want to stop your engine just to pull a trawl. You want to keep moving so your lines don't tangle up. But in this game, they don't really tangle up, so I'll bump it up 2 notches on the speed just to see if we can get away from the negative numbers. These numbers are still good, these numbers are still good, this one's still good, just the speed. Well, that and the amount of fish coming in. I believe on the other trawling boat, the bottom trawler one, you have to have these at a minimum of 100 or 110 meters before it starts picking up fish. So you can have like 200 meters of line out easily before you start catching any fish. Doesn't look like we're going to get under school though, which is okay. I do not believe that right now is haddock season anyway, because we're in like January, and the best time to catch them is August. I mean, we could hit part of it, I guess. Most likely it's going to be all pollock though. As you can see, 32,000, so I don't know why it's that way when they came in the same net, but they're already on the haul trawl mode, so yeah, no more fish have come in. Too far away. But we're almost the right distance for being able to pull it in. See what we got it. I said about 65, maybe 66%. This one's fine, and that one is 25. We can haul. See the big turd come up out of the water. So we got 129,842 off that one. With the 60 something we had before, we're almost 200,000, which is fine. So we're going to put these guys to rest. I'm going to go into dock. Close that. Return to port. Yeah, see, there's a big ice floe right there. Actually, that's I think actually where we're going to be heading. No, that's down here. Okay. That's where it's not showing it. I guess it's showing this island here. But where we're going is up over here anyway, so that's fine. As you can see, we started right here though. Traveled all the way out this way and then turned and went down this way, and that's where we're ending up. I'm not crossing land. Nice thing is even when this boat is fully parked in the station dock here, that we have the side thrusters to get it back out so we don't bang it up. So we can make 800,000 to 6 million kroner. I'm going to say it's probably going to be like 3.5 million. Yeah, close. 3.3. But as you can see, we also spent 390,000 on our crew, which I think we can make 2 of those go away for right now. Maybe even 3. But I do want to work on the stamina on the ones. Our total revenue was 3.584. Plus I got an extra 150 for port reputation. So that's kind of nice. Let's see here. What do we have? Probably the same things too. Yeah, they want us to haul fish to Hammerfest, or take a boat that's not ours out 31.3 kilometers, which you can't fast travel, and then show them some whales and stuff. So we're not going to take either one of those jobs. But as you can see, our loan is 37 million kroner, and we're at 28 already. So two trips, 2 good trips, not 2 small ones. We'll pay that off. We're going to do that probably in the next episode. I'd like to thank you for coming out and watching. If you like the content, make sure and hit that subscribe and like button for future content. And the like button really helps out the channel, so other people get to see the stuff as well. Until the next time, have a good one.